It's definitely exhausting, but like Coach talked about earlier, having the mental toughness, to come back the next day and practice. After our flight got delayed in Memphis too, we ended up taking a little longer than we were supposed to, so we didn't get to get as much rest as we wanted to. With the next day, we knew we had a game coming up that Monday, and it was important that we go ahead and practice, and get some reps and just to work on a few things that we noticed that we were weak, a few areas we were weak in Maui, so of course you're gonna be tired, you're a human being, but at the same time, it's your responsibility to get better, and prepare for the next game.
Coaches do harp on that a lot, but does it almost take going through something like that to really get a sense of, all right, this is how tough I have to be to get through it?
Yeah, every lesson like that, you have to take it and run with it. If someone would just go and say, oh, you got to fly from Maui and play a team like Oakland, which is really great at home. I think they won 29 straight at home. You think about guys in the NBA. They play games back to back every night, and if you want to play professionally, then it's something you got to be prepared for. So that's just a way I think a lot of guys on the team approached it. A lot of people have pro aspirations, obviously. And if you want to play at that level, and right now you got to start getting ready to go up and basically do the same thing every night.
Dwight, I know you are hoping for some good minutes on Saturday. What are your feelings going into this game playing Jim?
Well, everybody knows I went to Pitt. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but like I said, like I was telling some of my teammates earlier, you just want to approach this game like it's just another team. Obviously I know a lot of those guys and have relationships with those guys that I built while I was at Pitt, and obviously at Tennessee, it's nice to go against those guys, outside of practice in an actual real game. So just looking forward for the opportunity. They're a great team. Any team you play, you should already be to the point where you have in your mind that you're gonna go as hard as you can, for 40 minutes, or more. But this game is no different.
Well, how different is the mentality in Pitt versus here? I know you had a JUCO stop in between, but as far as preparation and intensity, Coach Martin, Coach Dixon.
Coach Martin and Coach Dixon, two very different individuals. I think Coach Martin is a little bit more laid back type of guy. Two great coaches, obviously. I enjoyed being around those guys. You learn so much. They both really, know the game and know how to get what they want out of their players. So when it comes to the coaching aspect, aside from personal characteristics, I guess they two great coaches. That's all I can say.
You say laid back, you mean just as far as how he deals with the players?
Yeah, it's more laid back, in a way. I love both of the guys, but it's obviously people have different character traits. Other people, no one is better than the other one, but just love both of the guys, like I said.
What did you want to leave Pitt work out? Was it a system difference or just kind of log jam and playing time, or what was the deal?
Well, I felt like it would be if I had a conversation with Coach Dixon after the season, and basically we talked about playing time and the minutes that were going to be allocated, and it just ended up drawing the short end of the stick on that one. I just wanted to give myself the best opportunity, I didn't want to be that guy to just sit back and and go for the ride. I want to play a more have a more hands-on approach to games instead of sitting on the bench. So I decided to give myself a chance and try and make it work somewhere else. So far, I think things are working out well. I still got a lot of things to learn, but happy I made the decision.
Jordan, I know you knew you were going to have opportunities on offense coming into this year, but back-to-back games, 25 points, and just talk about, and doing it different ways. We had a bunch of threes against Sean and I, got in the basket against Detroit. Just talk about different stuff about doing that.
I'm just letting the game come to me a lot more, choosing my shots more wise than I was at the beginning of the season, and trying to get to the rim first, and then start letting my three-point game come to me.
Is that something you changed up, like, in the first half at Oakland the other night, like, start to get to the rim more after a couple shots didn't go, just kind of changed as the game was flowing?
Oh, no. I mean, we were down by, I don't really remember how much, but I just know we were down and we needed some points. And I seen a lot of driving opportunities for me, and I took those.
Jordan, I know you didn't play very many minutes at Pittsburgh last year, but how does that affect you going into this game? Are you more excited to finally, play more of a contributing role here?
I mean, I'm excited for every game, but I'm just looking at this game just like we looked at all our other games. Pittsburgh's a great team, so we're just going to need to focus in a lot in practice and things like that this week.
Jordan, I know the first couple of days in Maui, your minutes weren't, up there. They didn't seem at their 30-35 range. Did you feel like, Chaminade game you played well, and then did you feel like you had a little bit more maybe in the tank than some other guys? Did it look like at Oakland you seemed to have kind of the same bounce in your step where some other guys were maybe just a half step or so slow?
No, I think I felt like everybody else, and playing those games in Maui is tough on everybody. Even if you didn't play, the traveling was tough. So I think I feel like everybody else did.
What's the mindset kind of been like? And entering the year, it was clear that there were minutes to be had, there were shots to be had. These first few weeks of establishing yourself and kind of stepping into a role that you can kind of paint for yourself. What's the mindset been like of taking the reins and scoring?
It's just it's something that needed to be done. Going into the season, hearing a lot of we don't have people on our team that can score a lot of points. It motivated a lot of us, and I think we got a lot of guys on our team that can score. Just these last couple of games, it's just been like my night.
Dwight, talk about Pittsburgh. They're good all the way around. Got some good bigs or point guard averages. 8.5 assists a game. What do you think your guys' biggest challenges will be on Saturday?
Biggest challenge, I would think, is focus. I think the thing we have to focus on really is focus going into the game, because Pitt as a team doesn't make a lot of mistakes. They well coached. Yeah, like Coach said, they have a lot of guys that been in the system. A lot of guys that came in with me when I was there, been in the system, for 4 years now. Now so they really know the system, and they got a lot of young guys that they tutoring that's under their wing, that's coming along really well. So I think the biggest thing, that should be in the front of our minds right now is focusing and making sure that we execute just as well, making sure that, on defense, they got a lot of guys that can score also. So the biggest thing, focus, defense, rebounding. Rebounding is going to be a big thing also. We have really great rebounders. They rebound, from all over, so that's going to, boxing is going to be a real big thing for us.
When you step on the floor, is there going to kind of be a little bit of extra motivation to say, kind of this is what you missed out on basically the first time you touched the ball?
Yeah, I always wanted to get on the floor at Pitt, but this time I get on the floor against Pitt, but so I don't know if I can see it that way, but it's gonna be great to see those guys again, in this type of setting. I remember like I'd be on the bench last year and we'd have conversations. They'd be like, "Man, Dwight, if you transfer, you come back and play Pitt. You ever come back and play Pitt, you're probably gonna get 40." So, that's probably not gonna happen. But if it does, I'll be happy. It's just the fact that the irony and the fact that we talked about it. All last year we made jokes about it. Often now we're getting the opportunity to play those guys. I just want to go out there and just compete.
Anyone you're still particularly close with?
Yeah, Ashton Gibbs is my roommate since freshman year. We still text and talk a lot. I talk to his mother a lot too. She always calls me, and we have a lot of conversations, and she always tries to encourage me. Ashton does the same thing. We encourage one another. If we have tough games, we like brothers. So we always try to stay in close contact, no matter what.
Did they bring up? Has he brought up last year's Tennessee game? Has he said anything about Pitt maybe looking?
No, but I did. I texted him the other day after they lost to LaSalle. I told him to keep his head up. you know, but when they come here, it's gonna be another loss. So, but you know, it's the type of stuff we do, you know. And you want to compete against those guys, obviously, you know them, and you want to win the game, just like any other game. But you know, just like I said, just being around old friends, it's gonna make it that much better.
What do you remember about kind of that game last year? Did you see any of that game when Tennessee went up there? I know they just don't lose up in that city.
Yeah,
Tennessee did that. It was kind of surprising.
Yeah, Tennessee is a great team. Last year, I was a junior college, and I think one of my teammates asked me if I saw the game. Asked me if I saw that Pitt lost to Tennessee. I had no idea I was going to end up at Tennessee, which is also ironic. But you know, being at Pitt, I guess we only lost one home game when I was there in 2 years. You know, we played the best teams in the country, and to see them lose at home was tough. But you know, anybody could be beat. But to see Pitt, a team as good as Pitt, lose at home was shocking. But I mean, I don't know. I guess, like I say, night in and night out, you got to be ready. Anybody could beat you any given night. So.
Jordan, you said you guys are motivated coming into the year. What do you think you've proven so far?
I think that our team has proven so far that we're gonna compete the whole game, and we're gonna always try to play hard. And I think that we've created an identity that we're gonna get after it on the defensive end first.
Jordan, I know it's been only 6 games, kind of a small sample size, but were you guys expecting to maybe be better defensively than you have been?
Yeah, but we played some tough teams early. So I mean, guarding those kind of teams early is going to help us late. So I think it's been good for us. I think we've done well so far.
I think we've asked you about chemistry on offense. I mean, how much of that chemistry has to be built on defense as well?
I mean, it all goes with trust. Just knowing you have help defense at all times, and I mean, you got to guard your own man as well. So I mean, I think our chemistry at both ends is going well right now.
Jordan, you guys are shooting awfully well from 3, averaging almost 85 points a game. You just talk about this offense and how it's maybe your skills and some of the other guys.
I think this offense is benefiting a lot of guys. It's a lot of moving and cutting, and so it's a lot of driving opportunities. When you drive, the defense collapse, so we get a lot of open threes.
Jordan, do you think you may have been pressing a little bit early? I wondered, I know you had a good summer league, but do you think maybe you were forcing some stuff and maybe putting too much pressure on yourself at the start of the year?
I think I was definitely rushing at the beginning of the year, trying to find my shot instead of letting my shot just come to me. But I mean, that just goes with not playing last year and not knowing. And now that the season's going on, I think I'm doing a lot better in that area.
For either one of y'all, have you been surprised about the number of points teams have scored against y'all? I know that the defense is something that Coach Martin talks first and foremost every day, and the offense has been fine statistically, but there's been some nights on defense where teams have just seemed to make a lot of shots.
Yeah. One thing I notice after every game, I always think about, after we score so many points, I always wonder, like, obviously we're one of the best scoring teams in the country. If we could stop those teams and keep them under a certain amount of points, there's no reason why we couldn't be 6-0. But at the same time, I feel like it's a learning experience. I remember last year, my coach last year, Ross Hodge, at Midland Junior College, he'd always say, it's better to learn your lesson early than to learn it late, maybe in March. So right now we learn this lesson, and it's something that we definitely going to learn from. It's something we have to fix in order for us to accomplish the goals that we set in the beginning of the season, to end up and be one of the premier teams in the country, where we feel like we deserve to be. The best way for us to do that is to come out there and let our defense be just as good or even better than our offense.